Hey guys, we interrupt your normal intro for this intro to let you guys know I go on for about 6.5 minutes with a long story at the beginning of this about a long Friday night. If you feel like listening to it, by all means go ahead. But if you want to skip ahead to just the pickup stuff, you want to skip ahead to about 6 minutes and 40 to 50 seconds around that range. So just a heads up. Thanks for watching. What is going on, everyone? Steve O Supremo here, and I am just another game collector, and I am a guy who just had a very long weekend, in particular Friday. But we're going to go over some yard sale finds from this weekend in this video, and some personal pickup stuff that we got some stories to share on that too. I'll get into that, but I first got to share like what I went through on Friday night just to see if anyone else has been in the same boat as me. It's going to get a little bit personal, so you might want to fast forward to game stuff. This might take like 4 minutes or so to talk about if you just want to hear about this stuff. But on a personal note side for me, I am married. I have a wonderful wife, and I have 3 wonderful children. My oldest is my son. He's going to be turning 15 in December this year. He's gonna be starting high school in the fall. It's just, man, they grow up so fast. My middle daughter, just turned 11 this past March. And then my youngest it will be turning 8 in August. So 3 kids, wife, the happy family. Well, they got spring break this week, and my wife decided and planned out a trip for them to go see their in-laws back east. They're flying all the way out to Alabama to see my father and mother-in-law and her brother and their kids. And they were so excited about it because us being out here on the West Coast, there's no family over here. They're all on the East Coast until we make our way back over there, which could be happening this summer. We're getting excited about it, so we'll see. Stay tuned for anything on that. But this whole time this trip's been planned for months. I couldn't go on it for 2 reasons. A, because I'll never step foot on a plane because they scare me to death. And then 2, just because of work. I couldn't get off because of work. So wasn't going to do it anyway. It didn't matter if they gave me off or if I asked off or anything. I'm not going to get on a plane for no reason. Unless it is like something where I got to make it to, if something happens to my family and I got to get over there, I'll bite the bullet and do it. But only in extreme emergency situations. I've never been on one. And that is the thing that had me so worried on Friday night. A very sleepless night because it was going to be my first time that my kids have been on a plane. And like my wife has gone on a plane all the time to go to places and travel for work and everything, or just for trips and vacations. But it was just her. Now it was my whole family traveling on a trip together. And of course, I just kept thinking the worst. Like the worst thing was going to happen. And then just like that, out of nowhere, I'm just going to lose everything. And that just kept haunting me for like, guys don't even know, for like months. Like all of a sudden, I'd just be sitting around and it would pop in my head like they're going to go on that plane in this trip, and all the crashes and stuff that were happening earlier this year in the US, I'm like, this is just like horrible. It kept just running through my mind that it could just happen. And then boom, like my whole world would be just crushed. I wouldn't know what to do. And it was going to happen Friday night. So they did, like we said our goodbyes. My youngest daughter just in tears as she's leaving the door to fly out to the airport. Because she missed me, and I think she was a little scared too to get on that plane. But I tracked them the whole time while they were in the air. And this is a flight that they started at 10:30 on the West Coast, flying east for 4.5 hours. It just sounds horrible. I don't know what kind of planning she did to do that, but it was going to be landing on the East Coast at around 6 o'clock. Just, because of the time difference. Then she had to drive another 3 hours to get to her parents' house. But anyways, I was just trying to think of ways, how am I going to occupy my time? Because I wasn't going to be able to sleep. I wasn't going to be able to sleep until I got that text message saying that they landed and everything was safe. So it's what can I do? Can I play some games or just anything to kill the time? And it just wasn't working. I was trying to play games. It wasn't working because I couldn't focus on the game because I would keep thinking about the plane and everything. And then finally, I was like, you know what? I just got to maybe a show or something. And believe it or not, I put on House. It's a love that show from back in the day. Well, not me talk like it was back in the 70s or something. It's just in the 2000s, like to the 2000 what? When did it go out? 2012, something like that. I can't remember. But I never actually finished like sitting watching everything all the way through on that. And I'm on like the last season right now, so I was like, let me go ahead and start watching some House. And boom, a couple episodes in, I just started getting into the show and everything, and that made it worked. It kind of calmed me down while just watching shows or something. So it was kind of weird, even though like gaming is my thing. It's like my go-to thing to get some enjoyment and stuff out of. But surprisingly enough, like the TV and a good television show is what kind of occupied my mind from like thinking about that. But got the text message and everything. Everything's going okay, and they're enjoying themselves and time while they're over there in Alabama. But now I got to go through it all again on the way back when they leave on Thursday. So we'll see. But is that something you guys have ever done with, or something with your family? Are you scared to death of planes like me? Just let me know in the comments below. It's so crazy, like being in law enforcement forever. Put yourself in so many dangerous situations where you don't even hesitate. But man, like a plane scares me more than anything I ever did out in the field. So it's really weird sometimes how that works. But anyways, after 5 minutes of rambling, if you guys are still here, maybe I'll even leave a timestamp if you guys want to fast forward through my story, if you just want to hear about the games and stuff. But here we go. Yard sales this weekend. Again, it's starting to warm up and everything here. And we actually found some games, which is pretty cool at some yard sales. So interesting story about this section right here. But yeah, found all this stuff at yard sales this weekend. The Witcher one here. Normally I don't pick up PC games, but I actually have the collector's edition for Witcher 2 on PC. And I was like, you know what? Let me just complete it up and get the PC one for it too. So I think the guy, I can't remember how much he had for it, because this same guy had this game, this, and this all in one bundle. That's what I all bought him from. He had some other PS2 games. He had Devil May Cry 2, and I cannot remember for the life of me what the other one was. Jak and Daxter? I think he had one of the Jak and Daxter games, but I already had those. I did not have Devil May Cry 3 yet for the PS2, and I actually did have Dirge of Cerberus here for Final Fantasy VII, but my disc was kind of scratched up, and amazingly, like, this disc is immaculate. It is in gorgeous condition. So I was like, you know what? I'll just get it for a condition upgrade. Oh, and he also had something else I grabbed there. Be right back. And he also had these World of Warcraft cups. I was eyeballing them while I was at that sale because I loved World of Warcraft. And he had a series of cups here. I think it's Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, and maybe the original. I can't remember what 4 of these are. But I kept eyeballing them, and I was like, man, I don't know if I want to get them. I would like to, just because they're so cool. But if you can, let me see if I can turn it here. They all have a hole here from where I guess his son was hanging them on the wall, so he put a nail through them. So it's like, ugh. And he put them like right on the side with where it says World of Warcraft. Of course, you'd probably want Arthas showing on this one anyways. But yeah, all these cups were part of it. See if I can take some more out of here so you guys can see it. And there you go. So nothing special about them, not like they're worth any money or anything, but I really enjoy World of Warcraft, so I wanted them. So that was all bundled up, and I bought all that stuff together. And yeah, so really cool first sale today, going to that one. The second one I went to, they had a bunch of Xbox One games, but she said someone had bought them all, but they left this one. They actually left Back to the Future, the game, one I've been looking for. I wanted it on PS4, but since they had the Xbox One version there, I was like, sure, I'll snatch that up. And, you know, I'm not too much into the Telltale games anymore. I remember playing the first Walking Dead season, and it was a pretty good game, but I hadn't played any others. But I really love Back to the Future, so I am wanting to give this one a go. So really cool pickup there. And then the other kind of yard sale pickup that I don't normally get is like book stuff. But went to this sale, and my wife loves to read, guys. She loves reading. That is her thing. She can read. She could read one of these little things in just like an hour or two, like if probably less than that. But I like to get sci-fi stuff because back in my old job back east, I could have a lot of downtime to read, and it was like the only thing I could do. So I started getting into sci-fi, and of course, some Dungeons and Dragons stuff, following the Legend of Dritz and his storyline. But these books I had never heard of from Tolkien. So these little short story books, I guess, and I pretty much got them from my wife. The lady, I think, what was it? She only wanted like 25 cents a book or something. I can't remember. Um, so I grabbed these just to bring home for my wife and showed them to her. And even she, the big reader, she never even heard of them. So she's looking forward to reading them. She can't wait. And yeah, these will be probably done in less than a day. Like she'll just read them all. But I'm actually interested in giving them a read too, just because I like Lord of the Rings. And yeah, they're not too long. And some of them actually got some pictures in them. So that's pretty cool. Now, the story with this pickup. I had my walking pad. If you guys have been viewers of the channel, you know I kind of rearranged my room. I was trying to get everything so I can have my walking pad set up again. Where it got to that point, and I was able to start using my walking pad again. And about a week after using it, it broke. It will plug it in, and the pad would just not roll. It wasn't moving. It's like, daggone it. Well, the weather's starting to get nice out here again, so I could just start doing my running and stuff outside. But so I put that walking pad on Facebook for someone just to take for free. Said, hey, it's not working. It won't roll, but it does power on. If you want it for free, you can come and get it. So a gentleman who had served in the military, we had talked and chatted outside my house a little bit when he came and picked it up because they were trying to find out what was wrong with it too. I was like, hey, it just plugs in and does the spin. I hope you guys can get it working. So remember that story, because when I went to a yard sale this past weekend, sure enough, I pull up to the house and it's the guys who got the walking pad from me. So I said, hey guys, what's up? And they're like, hey, what's up, man? And I was like, did you guys get the walking pad working? And they said, yeah, we got it working. It was just like the motor was a little clogged, and it was probably clogged with my beard hairs, which was probably gross for them to dig out. But they got it working, and everything's rolling fine with it. So they're like, hey, like, thanks for the free walking pad. It's like $150 to $180 walking pad that they got for free. So I was like, well, I mainly look for video games for the collection, because I told them about my collection, and they actually came in and looked at it when they came in. They're like, oh, I got a couple games in here. Let me go get them. So they went back inside and they pulled all these out. And he just gave them to me for free, since they said, hey, you gave us the walking pad for free. You can just have these for free. So I was like, sure, like that sounds fair to me, because there's nothing huge in this thing to brag about, but it's just a cool story. Now we'll slide on over to this section. We'll start in the front here. Oh, Alex returned to Mother Base, one of my great friends here in the YouTube community. We've been friends for a long time. Man, I forgot how long I've known that guy now. But we've gone to conventions and everything together. He is awesome. So go check out Alex if you don't know him. Return to Mother Base. I'll leave him in the comments below, a link in the description. For a year now, we've been like working on a trade. And it's something that he showed some games and said, hey, you interested in any of these? And I think at the time, like, I just wanted this Dragon Warrior 3 for my collection. I was like, yes, hold on to that. I'll get that from you. And instead of buying it from him, like, he wanted to do a trade. So like, okay. So anytime I would find anything on my hunts or anything, I'd like, hey, you need this, anything you need. And there's not much that Alex has on the lookout for anymore as far as retro. And I won't spoil anything for him. He's got a good one coming out soon, for one he's been looking for a long time. That's finally been achieved. But I eventually ran into a Yu-Gi-Oh! Which one was it? Not Falsebound King. I cannot even remember which one it was. A Yu-Gi-Oh! Game on the Xbox that he was looking for. Found it for him, but we still needed to work up more stuff to get an even trade. Well, after a year, we just said screw it, and I just bought the rest of this stuff from him. I bought Spec Ops The Line and paid the difference for everything else because it's like, this is taking forever to find anything to do the trade. But another story with me and Alex, we're both fans of Yu-Gi-Oh!, the anime and the card game, and he slid this in there just because it's just a thing. He does like the perfect Joey impression. He's like Joey reincarnate in real life to me. So just because he's from New York and everything, and he just plays a perfect Joey. Anytime we're doing like a meme off with Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm always seeing Joey from his side. So he snuck that in there. So that's really cool. So anyways, Alex is awesome. Thanks for the trade / deal on that stuff. Now this stuff right here, have I talked about Garrett on this channel yet? I probably have. There's a guy who I've become great friends with here. He's not in my city. He's in the next town that's like 20 minutes from me. I bought a Vita collection from him, and that just, from right there, a friendship spawned because I bought his Vita collection. Then he just started selling me all his other collections. And every time, his thing is, he was wanting to clear out the collections of stuff he's already played or he's not going to play or that he can get digitally. So first was the Vita, then was his 3DS stuff. Then was, there was some old PS1 stuff. There was just a series of things I would keep buying from him. The last thing I bought from him was PS3 stuff, and then his guides. He just gave me all his guides. Well, I paid for those too. Guides and everything, art books. And this was an art book that came with the Dragon Age 11. They did like a collector's edition or limited edition release for that, and I had all the other pieces from it that I had bought from him with the soundtrack and everything. But I forgot to get the book. It was mixed up with some other ones. So I was going to go to his house and pick that up. And while I was there, the next thing I'm going to be buying is this PS4 collection. But he said he's already gone through some of them. And what he does is he's going to play through all the PS4 games he wants. And then some of them, he looks up gameplay. And if he doesn't like what he sees, he just puts it on the shelf to go out with the stuff that he's already beaten. So he put these 3 games were on his shelf, were games that I did not have. The others that he has beaten already, I already own, so I didn't have any interest in them. But I looked up some gameplay on these, and I saw some tactical strategy combat like Final Fantasy. I love those type of games. So I was like, yeah, I'll be interested in those. So he sold me all these. But unfortunately, a lot of all his games that he doesn't want to play are sealed, which you guys are probably thinking like, that's awesome. You got these sealed games. It really stinks though, because when you get something and you want to have like the desire to play it, but you look like this game is like $100+ game with it's a new condition, it just feels like sacrilege to open it up. Like, would it be insane to do that? And I saw that they are on Steam. So technically, if I do want to play them, someone on the Steam library who I share accounts with already owns one of them. But unfortunately, after talking with Alex, I said, hey, what do you think about these games? He really enjoyed it. But he said it's mostly visual novel. Like 75% of it's visual novel, and the rest of the game is the tactical like strategy combat. And guys, don't hate me for this. I'm not a big visual novel guy. I want to try again to try to get into them, but it's just, I need some game. Like, I like the Danganronpa games. I played those, enjoy those, but those are pretty interactive. Maybe visual novels have changed where a lot of them are interactive like that these days, but I just don't want to sit there and just read and read and read and read and then do the gameplay. But Alex said the story is really good, like between this, like it is a great epic tale. So it might be worth trying to do. So we'll see. If we do, I know one of these is pretty cheap. Actually, it might be the first one. It's the one of these is kind of opened up a little bit. Yeah, down here where it's got a rip in the seal, where it's kind of cheap, but that might be the last one. I don't want to play them out of order. I don't know. So I don't know what to do. I told him, like, next time without like telling me just rip the seals off of these things so I don't have to feel guilty about it if I gotta open it. The games are meant to be played, I guess, even if they are $120 games. So we'll see. But anyways, man, 20 minutes. No one's going to stick around and listen to all this jibber jabber for 20 minutes. But if you do, I appreciate it. That's the pickups from the weekend. We'll see what happens next weekend, guys, because the yard sales out there, like I thought were going to be, they are just flooded with people. So I can't believe we actually got lucky at a couple places. But again, at one of them, they were all gone except that one. So who knows? And the one back here with these three, this was out like back in the boondocks. I remember driving past it earlier in the week where they were kind of setting up for it. And I was like, hey, y'all having a yard sale? They're like, not till the weekend. I was like, cool, I'll swing back then. And almost forgot about it, but it was that's why this stuff was probably still there, because no one found their way to it. But pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool weekend, long weekend. So, man, just glad my family made it over there safely. Can't wait till they get back here. It's lonely in this house. Need my family back. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.